What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing alright. Sorry, I'm just messing around with this light because it's moving around everywhere. As you can see, first video back in a minute, and we're already off to a great start. I hope you guys are alright, doing well, safe, happy. 2021 is going well for you, and yeah, that you're thriving this year. I know it's been a difficult past 12 months, but it's April. We're getting through it. We're on our way out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So, yeah. I thought I would make a video because I love talking to you guys. I love announcing stuff. Just speaking my heart, speaking my mind, talking about poetry, talking about life, talking about deep shit. That is me. That's my vibe. That's my brand, I guess. So that I love making videos, but also that I am a bit of an introvert in that way that I do kind of go off for a bit and just make music. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been off basically away from the camera, and I've been making music, and I've been vibing with that, and working on university stuff, which has been sort of taken out my life for the past few months. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been I struggled in the early part of this year, as a lot of you guys probably have been. I had the death of a few loved ones, and it hit me pretty deeply, and also just I think I had this isolation period when COVID sort of swept our household, and it was difficult because I think everything sort of happened at once, and there was this massive reset, and my life just in hindsight, looking back over the past 6 months, just was it was a massive reset for me, and now we're here. So I feel like I'm on the mend and I'm on the way up, and I'm feeling a lot better, but obviously shaky ground. Life is weird. You never know what's around the corner, and you always have to be sort of aware. But I feel a lot stronger, and I feel a lot better, and I feel like with every single thing that happens, there's like more to learn from, and there's more to grow from, and there's more to understand. I know it sounds very cliche, but that's I guess what you have to do. Something fell. That's what you have to sort of embrace, I guess, when things get difficult, right? The change, the beautiful mystery of the future, as I always sort of mention. I wrote an EP. I kept it pretty quiet, but I wrote an EP. It's very different somehow. Look, I just did a COVID test and I stuck. What's it up my one of those things up my nose. Give me another sec. Yeah, it's very different. It's called Digital Sponge, which is sort of a play on the perversion of the digital landscape. I found over the last year specifically a very big interest in the way that we view and interact with trauma online and through the digital space. And I don't want to get too heavy, I guess, on you guys, but I definitely can say that we all are probably aware of different elements of trauma, especially in specific cases that we've seen kind of come up within the digital landscape, right? And I sort of found it very interesting to make sense of the humanity behind that, both through the digital landscape, but also maybe the removal of pure emotion from the actual event itself in real life. And so that's kind of what the crux of what Digital Sponge explores as a concept. And through musically, I wanted to explore different dualities, therefore, through dirty and clean, and through closed and open space, to sort of explore this through sound and through sonic means. As you can probably hear if you listen, it's in the description, but if you listen, it's sort of, there is a sense of like deep sound design, which is all very sort of intentional to create, I guess, this visual space that actually is not visual, and I guess that's sort of the encompassing thought of this EP. It sort of is meant to embody the digital space, but obviously through a sonic means, which is sort of an interesting thing to do because it's really associative, the digital space, with certain sounds, specifically through distortion, and that was something that I really used heavily when exploring the elements of mixing But I also didn't want to necessarily fall into the traps of kind of going too dirty. Therefore, I wanted to remove a lot of these bit crushing resonances from the high end to sort of adapt into this sheen sort of sound, which would therefore create a bit more openness and a bit more cleanliness amongst this sort of dirty undertone. So this EP also explores sort of the three main genres that have sort of categorically stayed with me over the past few years. Hip hop, ambient music, obviously, and film scoring. And so that's sort of like a big embellishment of these genres, with inspirations like Stephen Price, JPEG Mafia, and of course Color Therapy and Port Blue. Those are big people who have like really kind of held my hand into my listening through my musical productive career, and sort of got me into the landscape, I guess, of producing to where I'm at, but I also felt like I wanted to even explore elements of really modern US hip hop, like even Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, in some areas of this EP, which you can kind of hear specifically in the last track, Sponge. In the middle section, there are sort of elements where the whole ambience and the whole intensity just collapses into this almost like a modern hip hop track that you almost expect to hear a Nicki Minaj verse just pop out on, right? Which I sort of like, because it kind of laughs at itself, but whilst also sort of reflecting, I believe, sort of this like duality to digital trauma, where no matter how hurt and in pain people are online, there is also always that sort of sarcasm and that laughter and that rebuttal which tries to make light of darkness, however you may see that, appropriate or not. It's just the way things are on this space. There are 3 tracks: Bite, Little Cyber, and Sponge, and they sort of, each of them are sort of meant to represent the transition from trauma to digitization, with sort of Bite being like the immediacy of something happening and then being taken, Little Cyber being sort of the embellishment, the covering of the situation and the trauma, and then Sponge being sort of the realization and the digestion of the emotions and of the situation. So yeah, and that's pretty much Digital Sponge. It was a really fun thing to sort of just interact with music in a way that I could touch again, in a way that was sonically inclined, as opposed to structurally inclined, and that felt really kind of alleviating, because I think over the past few months I've just been so caught up in trying to structurally make something that makes sense, instead of just letting myself go and focus on sound, and focus on timbre, and focus on rhythm, and focus on just sort of making something that I enjoy making. But that being said, I've got a track in which I'm singing on, called Far Away, that I've told you guys about, that's coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that, because I'm really excited to share that with you. Otherwise, Digital Sponge is in the bio, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It will be up on YouTube soonish. It's just that my computer's a struggler, and I've got to figure out how to export the videos without it crashing. I hope you guys enjoy it. I appreciate you guys watching this video and dealing with my messy quarantine character that I am now. I appreciate it, and stay safe, stay well, and till the next one. Bye.